Well, how's everybody doing? All right. So it is great to have you all in the Bull City. Thank you for your tax dollars. It's great to be here, see so many familiar faces, and I am going to take a moment of selfish privilege and thank you all for being so high in turnout because I've been preaching we need a new damn convention center for the longest time. So I've been recording on my glasses so I can send this back to my colleagues and say, now you see. But yeah, I'm honored to be here. My little selfish question, I wanted to know what the marketing budget was like because I can't turn on my social media without seeing all things AI. So I'm glad to finally be here and be a part of it. I did have a little something to talk about because if you give me an opportunity to brag about my city, well, I'm going to do it, right? So before I start talking specifically about AI, what I'd like to really let you know is where you are. Now, if you, nope, yep, here we go. If you happen to look up Durham on the Google machine, you may see City of Medicine. Well, let me just expand a little bit. This is not only the City of Medicine. This is the city of culture. It's the city of innovation. It's the city of opportunity. It's the city of risk takers and chance takers. And we are so much more. And today, we are a city that's embracing AI. And I want to talk just a bit more about that. I'm not going to get up here and read slide for slide, but this is just from a global perspective of what's happening with the integration of AI. And the way I look at AI is if you just think about your DNA, your body, your temple is your city or your community. AI is all the things that's inside. And so when I think about Durham and where we're headed, I think about first, what are we doing well? I think about our higher ed institutions, and up here you'll see, just proximity to Duke, UNC, and NC State. Yes, those are R1 institutions, but we actually have a lot of institutions here, especially North Carolina Central University, who just opened the first AI academy for college students across the nation with OpenAI. So we're leading in so many ways. Yet, when I think about AI, and I talk to my auntie, she's afraid of it because she thinks the artificial intelligence is there to leave her and her generation behind. And there are other people that think that AI is here to replace them. And there are some folks that attack me politically because I'm embracing AI because they don't want to be replaced. And that's why I continuously say, I do not believe in artificial intelligence. I believe in augmented intelligence. I believe it's there to make us better. And these are the areas that are naturally just growing and booming in our area, right here with 9 higher ed institutions and then our community colleges that are like workforce engines and how they are working with the government and the actual private sector. We have an opportunity to truly catalyze and conceptualize a model for the nation because we have so much talent here. The reason why we have the companies here, because we have the talent pool that's here. And so these are just some areas where we're just punching well above our weight, creating an ecosystem that embraces the risk takers that I've been talking about, those chance takers. These are the areas that we hope to not only capitalize, but really truly expand. If you're crazy enough, like my wife and I, we were crazy enough to start a restaurant right up the street. It's not for the faint of heart. But if you're willing to eat what you kill, if you're willing to be an entrepreneur, if you're willing to take a chance from a dream to an idea to reality, I think that you are worthy of your community embracing and supporting you, especially your local government. And so we can't be stuck in time and be reactionary to what is inevitable. This is an opportunity for us to truly lead and create what is possible beyond what we even can imagine now. So, our biggest opportunity. Oftentimes we hear a new phrase and we think about, oh my gosh, what's next? What's the new company? Folks, our greatest opportunity is what we already have. And that's where I plan to truly lean in. And I plan to propose some policy to our city council and to our colleagues at the county level about how do we, if we can tax ourselves for affordable housing and it folds to 10x, why can't we do that when it comes to economic development and workforce development? Why can't we invest in the possibilities of the human being? And that's what I plan to do next year in our budget. This year's budget is a little tough. I can't touch it. So as we're thinking about just how we can truly expand our integration here, I'm a mayor, so I think about potholes all the time. You know, when you started our call center, the number one complaint is, hey, my trash wasn't picked up, and also there's a pothole over on 9th Street. Well, imagine if we utilize sensors and put it on every city fleet vehicle, every fire truck, every police cruiser, every police bicycle, every management vehicle. We put sensors on those vehicles and allow them to corral the entire city every single day. That will give me the opportunity to say, in Durham, we have 0 potholes. Now, sounds kind of funny or, simple, but imagine the quality of life and security to know that I don't have to spend any money on a bent rim that could cost nearly $1,000. That is how AI can augment our ability to enhance a better quality of life. And so, I look forward to us augmenting and to my auntie who thinks she's going to be replaced. She's not. But imagine being able to take someone who thinks that their time has passed and bring them back to the forefront. We can upskill, we can reskill, and we can make sure that when you retire, it doesn't mean that life is over. It could mean life is just starting. It could mean your second career is just starting. And I want to bring that comfort level to every resident in our community. Why? Because for the first time in history, we have 5 generations living at one time. And you're in Durham. My apartment building under the Flashing Bull was the first apartment building in the city, but before that, it was the office building for the tobacco factory. There are people who still live in this community who worked in that building. So I don't want them to feel left out. And if a 2-year-old can use an iPad or less, so can an 85 or 90-year-old. That's the opportunity we have before us. So inclusive transitioning and just being inclusive and embracing, and also just taking advantage of the phenomenal talent pool we have here. NC Central has almost 10,000 students. Duke has over 10,000 students. Durham Tech is now embracing more students than we ever thought we'd ever have. And that's just in Durham. NC State, Meredith College, Queens College, Peace College, St. Aug, Shaw University. There are so many students that are coming here, and that is why the Research Triangle Park is so vibrant. So, we have the private sector, building private-public relationships. We have our universities. We have startups, the crazies, and it creates our ecosystem. So I look forward to continuing to work with folks in this room. If you're not from Durham, I look forward to having you back here. But this, yes, it's the city of medicine, but it's also the city of opportunity, innovation, city of the future. And if you look at South by Southwest, they just introduced Durham as the number 2, next to New York, as the most resilient, future-ready city in America. So in closing, I'm one of the leading founding mayors of Elevate Gov AI, and we're going to be all day tomorrow. We're over at Durham Food Hall on the 2nd floor, and over at my restaurant in the evening. But we'll basically bring in mayors from across the country. We have NVIDIA and Microsoft supporting us on it, and they'll be there, some of their heads. And we're talking about what does sovereign AI mean in local municipal governments, and how do we utilize it in our in-house practically first, and then bring it out to the public. But we have to build it through trust and transparency. So thank you all for being here today, and I look forward to you spending money in the city and enjoying. Thank you.